head Swiss off. Blood of white top diet, touch stigmata, love face palm. Till every heather I've ever met, I'm pretty gentle with a chainsaw.
I'm locked in a monastery, spinning pentagrams in a mix of Instagrams. That's what find the flaker is outside, there is ants on the Vegas, the Berlin DJ.
What's good, everybody? It's LoDo here. I am hanging out, chatting with the fellas of Tomorrow Kings. Welcome, guys. Thanks for coming through.
Thanks for having
Good.
us.
Thank you. Thank you for interviewing us.
So we currently have three parts of the group with us. Not everybody is present at the moment, but fellas, why don't you go ahead and start
Hello.
All right, perfect. We're just about to introduce everybody. You made it just in time.
God is right on time. Hallelujah.
All right, fellas, go. So just go through, introduce yourselves, and then kind of talk a little bit. Let us know what Tomorrow Kings is all about.
All right. John,
I'm
you want to go first?
7.
I think we lost you.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Say it again. We lost you for a second.
No, I said I'm Gilead 7.
Lamont Manuel.
Sketch 185.
Wizard Jenkins the Great is also with us, but I think he might be having technical difficulties.
I think
Yes.
so. All right, so tell us a little bit about Tomorrow Kings. How you guys got together. What the name means.
No, that
Alright,
good stuff. You want to start that one, Willie?
Sure. This sketch once again. Tomorrow Kings. We basically were all people on throughout the Chicago hip hop scene in various forms, and we've known each other between 10 and 15 years. Between like being on the fringe progressive hip hop side of things, battles, battle rappers in the crew, open mics, poetry, more poetry infused events and such. We've all known each other. Then at one point, at the Scribble Jam MC battle competition, I was drunkenly talking to one of the members of IB Focus about how Chicago, if cats in Chicago actually got more things to get done. We said later, he came back with a list of people. And it come to find out we're all people we hung out with. We were all drinking buddies at that time. And we decided to become a crew. And the name Tomorrow Kings comes from the Australian comic book Pop Bot by the illustrator Ashy. It's the name of an army of autistic samurai. And there was a quote in the book about being today's princes and tomorrow's kings. And we liked it. So we 5 years rolling. That's where we at.
Yeah, it was very, 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 very succinct description sketch. I to reiterate some of that, it's funny because I started hanging out with IB Focus and with Colosso of Gyroscope. We had met at a thing that at like a tribute for Dr. King on Dr. King Day. We were asked to do. I believe it was at Orr High School in Chicago. We were asked to do a tribute to Dr. King. So we all will wind up performing at this event. And I had heard of Gyroscope before, and I'm like, y'all Gyroscope. I was kind of like, cause I heard the records, I had heard the music. I'm like, y'all shit is dope, and Rob was looking like, yeah, whatever, So then they rocked, then I rocked. And there was a mutual respect after that. So I started hanging out with Focus and Colosso. Come to find out, we all knew out of the same people. I met them the last in terms of the length of people I've known from Tomorrow. I think I met Malak the first. I met him in like 99 or something. I think I met Lamont around the same time, Sketching 01, etc. But in Ill around the same time. But we found out that we had an affinity with all these people. So that's kind of how it happened. We were all connected, and we just we formed a crew, did music, and now we're here. We didn't start from the bottom, but we're here.
I knew that was
Saw it coming.
Saw that coming, John.
And pause. That's the Tomorrow King symbol
I
for
like
Paul.
it. Cool. So you guys, some of you guys are currently not in Chicago, right?
Yeah,
Right now,
I think
just one.
everybody's in Chicago except for me.
Oh, okay.
No,
So it's just you. All right.
I'm in California.
Very cool. So are you guys
Hate you right
individually doing solo
Yeah.
projects or as well? Okay.
Yeah, we're working. We are.
Yeah, we all have
Go ahead.
uh, yeah, we all have solo projects and careers. Like Gilead 7 and Wizard Jenkins the Great are actually pretty goddamn prolific in my eyes. They a lot of projects. I dropped the album on the label that dropped Tomorrow King's record, Reserve Records, called New Age Middle Finger. Malak, I believe, is working on his first full length. And we've all had solo careers and still do, and which made Tomorrow King's pretty interesting. Given we all were, we were all individual people before that.
Yeah, I have a solo record I've been working on for a little bit that's getting close to done, so that'll be happening soon.
Yeah. And a lot of follow-ups.
Yeah. There's also like not just solo projects, but just tandem projects that have happened throughout the process as well. Sketch and I are in a group. I Be Focused and Gilead 7 have a project. They put one out already, but they have another one coming soonish. Gyroscope came in as a group, but also now there's 24-hour Party People.
Which is Wizard Jenkins the Great and Colossal Structure.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff happening, a lot of cross.
Yeah. Snotty Nose, Gyroscope, and Malak L. A lot of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the beauty in the groups is not just you have the larger groups, but then the side projects, some tandem projects, makes for more interesting music in my opinion. I'm really happy to see groups like yourselves kind of coming back at the forefront of hip hop. I've been talking recently in an interview with a guy from Ohio, and we were talking about how kind of the earlier, what people call the golden age of hip hop. We saw a lot of groups at the forefront, and we kind of missed that in the early 2000s. Seemed like that died off because it became like all about me. So I think this new wave of more of these groups like yourselves coming back out is a beautiful thing for hip hop. I mean, just much better. I mean, it protects you as artists. You have a crew that protects you, has your back. Makes you step your game up. And the
big time.
So
well, maybe.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say when you saying to like have our back, like it's funny because one of the very particular things in Chicago is gang culture, and it kind of rolls in regards to crews. So like we end up becoming like our squad and our support group, which has been an interesting element, in regards to moving forward and how the last 5 years have been. So yeah, it's really cool to see people embracing it again. It just took for the money to disappear from the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that, you have one track on the new album, which we'll talk about the album a little bit here too. But it's track 6, another Wu-Tang comparison. So I'm sure you guys all the time.
Oh hell yeah! You gotta be kidding me. It's
yeah,
a lot.
So it was one of those like, all right, it's been happening, so let's go ahead and get it out of the way and address it in the music. And it's basically there in one line and it's done with. Like, we've heard it enough for people to like.
Yeah.
So that's all we have to say about it, pretty much.
Yeah, we turn them over. They're like, hey, y'all remind me of Wu-Tang. And it's like, no, we're just all black and it's a bunch of us. It's like right?
That's the only thing. That's all. Because I mean, if you were to write the raps out in that very song, if you were to write everything out, you would compare those with any Wu-Tang song, which I mean, much due respect. But if you compare it to any Wu-Tang song, you'd see almost no similarity. I mean, because because I almost had to I kind of halfway snapped on someone in the engineering and the management of the record who was the guy who was
Wait,
saying,
halfway, John.
Yeah, halfway. I didn't totally say what I wanted to say, but I did say what I had to say. He got the point. And he was like, man, it's a lot of y'all, y'all remind me of who. I'm like, no, sir. No, I appreciate that, but no, I said we do our own thing. So I mean, that's what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure most people mean it as a compliment, but you guys, when you actually listen to music, you listen to the beat you guys are rapping over, and your content and your styles. I mean, there's, you completely different. Than you guys are unique.
Thank you. Yeah.
But yeah, I think we see that a lot, and we see even with female MCs, you get someone who has a certain style or has a certain accent, and it's like, oh, she's a new MC Light.
Right.
Yeah.
I think people just kind of, they grab something they're familiar with, and they're like, oh, I like this, and I like you guys, so you must be the same, right?
Right. So it becomes a frame of reference, so you don't have to have a 15, 20-minute conversation to start the conversation every time, but
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, so let's go back to talk about the new album. So this is the 8th project you guys have done as a group. Is that right?
No.
No, this
Third.
This is the fourth.
The fourth.
Third or fourth. Let's see. Industrial Music was our first. No, On the Throne.
On the Throne was our first.
Two on the. So yes, it's
number four.
It's number 4.
We've had 2 compilation projects, On the Throne Volume 1 and 2, and we had Industrial Music, which was our first ambitious project,
right.
Which was a mixtape, damn near albums, just we can't clear any of it, and Nigga Rig Time Machine, which is the first official full length, so 4. But if you were to count all of our individual stuff, then maybe then.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's even more than that.
I did it'd be like 10. But yeah.
So let's talk about the new album a little bit. How long had you guys been working on that?
We probably worked
over 3 years. Is that accurate?
Well, it depends. We got our first beat maybe 3.5 years ago, but that that made it on a different project. But this one consistently, top to bottom, probably 2 years. If you start with
2 years.
Yeah, because Sell Coke to White Folks was the first beat we got for the project, and that would have been like two plus years ago.
Right.
Shoot.
About 2+ years ago. Yeah, I mean, I guess it would be like around 2 years, and because I was in California at the time, my chronology with what beat came first is kind of like different because there were things that I heard like on the back end and you guys had already heard in Chicago, so that's another interesting aspect of it too,
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess it was around. Wizard Jenkins in the house.
Yeah, I had to appear back in right quick, materialize in the mind, in the walls of the Buddha, pretty much.
The mysterious wizard is back.
Sorry about that, y'all. I gotta give you.
It's not 94. We can't go back, So.
Man.
Well,
So
we're
what
just
did I miss?
missed everything, man. We were just chatting about the new album. Fellas was talking about the 2 years or so that you guys have been working on it. So go ahead. First, introduce yourself. Now that you're joining us.
Well, I go by Wizard Jenkins the Great. I have a couple of other aliases we're not gonna talk about right now. I've been Tomorrow King since is when we start 2009, but before man, and yeah, we doing the damn thing. We got the album out, Nigga Rig Time Machine. Go find that shit. I don't know how you gonna find it.
It's there if you exactly. It's there if you want it.
Oh,
Store.
Exactly. Barcades.bandcamp.
Yeah.
Yeah, for those of you
Man.
that
Yeah, we have a YouTube.
haven't checked out the album yet, we have the link up. We'll make sure we have the link as well. You can see it featured on AshyToJazzy.com in the spotlight. And then make sure you stop through at tomorrowkings.bandcamp.com. Support the artists. Stream it free. Give it a free listen. And then just go ahead and buy it. Support these fellas.
Yeah,
They've been working hard.
I agree with you. I agree. I
Yeah.
really appreciate.
we're trying to pop away to 20.
Pick it up. It's a good. It's a really good record.
I really enjoyed the album. You know,
Thank
definitely.
You so much.
I mean,
Thank you.
just from the overall, the project very unique. I think your group, the group aspect gives just different, having all the individual voices obviously creates a different element. But just overall content, the beats you guys are on, some dope beats. So you had mostly producing the beats was Vile, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay. And then a couple of
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Um,
other producers,
uh,
in-house producer DJ C now. We had Coast, and we had a boy from New York, AM Breakups. You know, they all contributed, put beats on there, and it was a really cohesive sound. You know, like everybody was on the same wavelength, so it was something else just to have everybody contribute like that.
Yeah. Vile and AM Breakups are actually in a crew together, like a larger crew. So they've known each other as well. So like it didn't surprise us that their sounds fit together for the record too. So
yeah.
So that was. Yeah, man. You know, what I mean, the record. I was really pleased at how. I was really pleased that Vile did the majority of it. You know, and I mean, I've known Vile since he was like 15. I want to say probably like 15, 16. I met him at WHBK, which for Chicago underground hip hop is a very central place because all the heads used to come there. You know, CTA Radio was a long stint show that used to go on. It still goes on there right now. And JP Chill, you know, is actually known as one of the first people to bring hip hop to the Chicago airways. You know, before the mainstream radio was playing, the JP Chill was playing on the University of Chicago station, WHBK. But I mean, I met Vile there, you know, and just to see his evolution from an MC to a producer MC to producer MC, if that makes any sense, and just how the evolution is really interesting. You know, I'm really glad to have been able to do a record with him and with the crew. So, you know, much respect to him. Excellent artist.
Yeah, absolutely. Really, I mean, like I said, highly enjoyed all the other tracks. So, talk a little bit about what it's been like coming up on the Chicago hip hop scene.
Man. Well, it's weird. There's a few phases. Like right now is kind of the everybody outside of Chicago is starting to recognize Chicago hip hop scene. Like it's been a hip hop scene truthfully since the '80s. You know, a lot of cats visiting New York, you know, because of graph reasons, because of MC reasons, and they came back inspired. You know what I'm saying? Like who's like 10 Trey, like cats like Akbar. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of cats, you know, help create the foundation for what's happening right now with kids like Chance and Big Mensa and stuff. Yeah, I guess we were kind of like at the tail end of the I like to call it a Highlander phase, when everybody was like running around the streets trying to chop each other's head off. You know, and I mean that goes back to blues culture. You know what I'm saying, in the 40s and 50s. You know, and like Sketch talked about it more. It was a time where if you said you were hip hop in Chicago, that meant what I'm saying, you were doing like 2 or 3 elements, and you had to to stand your ground on it at any moment in time. Somebody walk up on you and challenge you, you got to be able to take that challenge and exceed that challenge. And if not, you need to go back home and work on your craft. You know, you wasn't just putting out records. You know,
Yeah.
now because of the beauty of the internet and the double-edged sword of the internet, if you have the right tools and everything, you can put out a record. So there are like a lot of kids who are making music, and some of it is good, some of it has room for improvement, and but everybody's putting it out. They know how to promote and market it. So that's where we are in Chicago hip hop.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, coming up in that like late '90s, which is when I really got into it. Like close to like the mid to late '90s aspect. You come out there and you started seeing like Wizard was saying. It was pretty much pretty much a sword fest out there. You walk up anywhere. You never know what you might have in terms of you being challenged on anything. I mean, I remember one of my first experiences at a battle, even before the battle. Prime and Pugsley walked up on me in a cipher and just started double teaming me, just going.
That's a pause, dog. I know what you're talking about, but that's a pause.
Yeah. It's definitely a pause. It's definitely a pause. But just to sum that up, man, Chicago was that place where every element was hard. It was if you were just ciphering, if you were doing anything, it was different. And you were called on everything.
All right, just to add something else, just about us. I saw Lil B about 3 months ago. He asked the crowd where I'm a thugs at, where I'm a nerds at, where I'm a thug nerds at, and that's when I yelled and screamed. He's like, "That's what I am," and that's what Tomorrow King. We're a bunch of thug nerds. So we're gonna say some goofy shit, but at the same time we're gonna say some real shit, and that encompasses who we are and what we do. You know what I'm saying? So forgive our nerdery sometimes, but we'll still beat your ass. Real talk.
True. It's not sweet at all.
Yeah.
Even though it may look that way. Sometimes. me and that man right there from here in Chicago called the Wild Hundreds. We've seen a fair amount of things that have occurred. We know how to deal with those situations. Yeah, the music reflects that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I guess Lamont and Sketch left again. I guess they'll be right back. Yeah, this is gonna look interesting however the video comes out.
Yeah, like I said, you got a nice mysterious glow to you, man. Yeah,
it's kind of weird. Okay.
And yeah,
I'm damn about to come up with questions myself, but any other thoughts or ideas?
Yeah, I was saying before we'd all been chatting before you came in, we were talking about just the elements of being in a group, and
There they go.
Oh, they're back.
Right.
But yeah, kind of what you touched on, we kind of end up talking about the same thing before. How the group kind of offers, protection for you as an artist, and how that really, especially coming up in the Chicago scene, being so cutthroat, and the importance of being a part of a group. So I mean, for you as an artist, well, go ahead.
I was gonna say all of us have had our experiences with being a part of various other crews. I think the thing that changes this one is that we all had a mutual respect for each other's individual art before we even joined the crew. We all knew each other before we joined the crew. There's a lot of crews where it's just like a bunch of dudes, and they're like, yeah, maybe we should start a crew, and then it's really just like 2 or 3 dudes out of the crew who are really doing something. Everybody else is just holding their coattails and trying to hang on. We actually had like a conscious decision, when 5-6 years ago, like, yeah, we need to actually like make this into a business. We was already hanging out. We was already, you know what I'm saying, going to parties, you know,
Drinking too much
rapping in
delirium.
ciphers, and it's some exactly drinking too much damn delirium. 2009, and you know,
Don't talk about 2009.
ultimately we would do it. Yeah, we were doing shows. You know what I'm saying, in various like parts of various members of the crew was already doing shows together already. You know, so ultimately it just made perfect sense. You know, and it's really I be focused. I wish he was on so he could talk about it, but he was the one who kind of saw the vision. He's kind of like D'Artagnan with Three Musketeers. You know, he came along later and was like, "Yo, y'all actually got something here." And all Three Musketeers did was drink, pretty much. They were supposed to be protecting the queen. They didn't really give a fuck. But then dude came along and actually gave them like a vision of what they could actually do and inspired them. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he gave some life to a bunch of old motherfuckers. Chicago.
Yeah, he really did. He rescued us, man.
Yeah.
In a lot of, you know, I was just thinking about that the other day. You know, if it wasn't for him. Go ahead, Willie. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Steve.
Is that a blunt? Yo, all I'm saying is
No.
like
Get air with a blunt, right?
Get air with a blunt, motherfucking California.
Just for the interview. He's
Yeah.
not gonna smoke.
Yeah.
This is a pen.
Yeah, but I'll say,
It looked like that though.
kept that conversation for a quick second, but
Wow.
a lot of us, you know, a lot of like Gyroscope, which is DJC now, Colossal Structure, and I'd be focused were the youngest guys in the crew, which they were also like
Right.
probably they were also like the glue of Tomorrow King and are. You know, we all would come from the old school to which everybody talked about. So other than being untrustworthy and being in crews with cats who hung on coattails, we were except for Gilead who's nice, we were all kind of like hard asses and real like tough dudes to deal with. And Focus came through and actually brought us all together. Amazing in itself, you know, thinking back on it 5 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a question, but that's shout out to Ivy Focus, who's probably with his jetpack right now.
Peace to the God Focus, man. Yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, he just, you know, because after chilling with him for like a year, after I met him at you know, me and Colossal Structure and Focus, and then seeing out after a while when he joined Gyrus, we would hang a lot and we do a lot of shows, you know. And I remember that I brought them for my death penalty shots release party. They were like, man, you know, we'd love to open. I'm like, sure, you guys could definitely open. You know, y'all could, and they freaking killed it. After that, it was when Focus was like, he talked to me and he said, you know, if I was to start a crew, would you be down? I'm like, yeah. And then I think he talked to the other members. You know, I don't know I don't know if he talked to me first, whoever first, but it was around that time, I know. You know, around like summer, fall of 07, you know, and when things started. But man, it's so good that I came in contact with it with Gyroscope at that moment, you know, which probably like about a few months before, you know. So, and it was amazing how things flew. So, peace to IB.
Also, something I want to talk about, like 2005 was when a lot of things changed in Chicago hip hop. That was when Cool Kids blew up. That was when, you know, like I think Kanye's second album came out. That was when everybody was on party mode, and you know, Chicago kind of led that. Gyroscope was the same age range of Cool Kids, but they were like the total antithesis, and they were actually like the backlash of so many people being on party music. They were like, no, we're trying to do, you know, authentic, progressive Chicago rap, you know, and unapologetic. And so, you know, I think everybody else in the crew were like doing their own angle. Like a couple of us were doing poetry while rapping. A couple of us was, you know what I'm saying, straight battling. A couple of us, John already had a label and he was like working with a couple other cats, but they were like, no, we're basically gonna like push the envelope with the sound. I think that was something that inspired us, just like seeing how young they were and how
Right.
you know
Yeah.
like sincere their sound and their music and their energy was. We was like shit, you know. It kind of made us look at ourselves and like, yo, we gotta get our shit together, you know.
Yep.
And
I totally
and that
agree.
was the beginning of that was really the beginning of the crew, like around 2005, in my opinion.
Because I think you're the one who actually you told me about Gyroscope. Like you told, and then like a
Yeah,
month
poetry.
later, Sense
Yeah, he was
asked
there.
us to, you know, the homie Sense from Chicago.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
Yeah.
told
Yeah.
me, and then we actually wound up being on What You Rhyme For. As a matter of fact, a lot of Tomorrow King's cast was on What You Rhyme For.
Yeah, except
We
for
actually was on
Malak
it. I was on it.
I was
and Lamont.
Right.
So except for Malak and Lamont, everybody else in the crew was on that record, which is a compilation done
Which
by
that's
Sense
another
One.
building block too.
that was a weird ass mixtape. On the real.
Yeah, well,
I mean, it was an album, but the way it was recorded and the style, like Sense, who's on the second song on the album, Imagine Tomorrow. I think he was like 16 when he put that whole thing together and recorded the whole damn thing. And he just basically just had everybody come up to his room in his mama's crib in the attic and just, you know, spit a verse. And then
Right.
he put some like experimental beats over it and then put together a show. And this was all while he was in high school, you know.
Yeah.
And I think Sense is one of like the first cats who I saw who was that young. It just kept happening more and more. Just the younger generation was like, yo, we about to make this music. We don't give a shit who came before us. We don't give a shit what happened before us. We about to put this music out. And I think that was also something that, you know, Dominic was talking about when he was approaching everybody just about the idea of Tomorrow's Kings. Like the cats who's coming after us are really the people who people should be watching for, you know. And
that's it.
It's evident now who's actually blowed up, you know what I'm saying? Because they came and they really didn't have like the inhibitions that a lot of us had because of, you know, the battle atmosphere, the gang culture atmosphere, and because of the lack of resources. You know, a lot of the kids just said, fuck all that. We about to record on this computer and put it online, and we about to throw parties, and we about to do this, and it's been working. So, I always thought it was interesting that, you know, that he wanted to I guess dedicate the crew to who was coming next. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, most definitely.
And also the name came from Sketch showing us a magazine Pop by Ashley Wood, you know, like the Tomorrow King characters. And hope to God he likes our music. He hasn't said anything yet, but you know, we hit like about. Wait, what up?
My bad. Gilead 7, I need my goddamn copy about that. You done had it for 5 minutes, my dude.
Let it go.
Just let it
Called you out, man.
get my comment.
You got
Yeah,
Yeah,
take
witness
care of that
for
testing.
you, man.
I will take care of that. I got
online.
you.
Right.
Man, you know what? Yeah. I'm in the wrong, but I got you.
You should have
No, I
said
think
no loud,
I think
man.
something you had said before, you know, the word that really comes, I mean, authentic definitely comes, I mean, you know, you can tell just from chatting with you guys, listening to music, you know, that you guys have a relationship as a crew, that it's not just some fabricated thing where you have one main dude and a couple other guys trying to, you know, ride his coattails to stardom.
Yeah.
But that definitely, you know, that definitely shows through in the music. So, you know,
Yeah, thank you.
looking forward to hearing more, guys. You know.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
One thing around the time we all started working together. Me and my friend David Robinson and Riff Napalm, another like legendary in my eyes rap on the Chicago hip hop scene, used to basically run an underground club. Except for
In an
Malak,
undisclosed location.
at an undisclosed location we don't mention too often.
Right.
I'm surprised you mentioned it.
No, it's done now. We made our money. But,
It's over now.
except for Malak L and Malak L, everybody else in Tomorrow Kings was the security force. So that was another like building block to like us becoming unified. Because I remember there was one night in which I got into a fight with a kid in the alley. He flicked a cigarette at me. I properly, put my knee into his head. And the entire group that would one day be Tomorrow Kings all came down like an army to make sure everything was good. And that's kind of the way we roll.
That's those thug nerds.
Oh, there are a lot of
stories. It's a lot of stories.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Oh, Woodford Reserve bottle got drunk up one day.
Yeah, I have to hear some of these stories off broadcast, off the record. So you guys have any upcoming shows?
Yeah.
Wait, say it again.
Any upcoming shows or tours in the works?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're working on tour, but as of right now, we have a show January 31st in the Tonic Room in Chicago.
It's like down the street from DePaul University. Performing with Second City Citizens, they host it. It's like a monthly, and it should be a good show. We'll also be at Columbia College like I think the third week of February. Basically, we're working out a lot. We're working out more shows, and we're trying to get a tour, I guess, for the spring. This business is real, and
life is real.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, that too.
We're trying to set things on fire in different cities.
Yeah.
Work out.
Just keep a lookout for the TK flag. It'll be flying somewhere, in disclosed and undisclosed locations.
An unnamed underground location.
There you go.
All right.
Except now you don't have to worry about us throwing a shirt over your head.
Right. Well, I was trying to work out some new videos too, and some other stuff just to get the bug in people's ear. They need to buy this album, because overall we just like buy this album. In fact, like every word that come out of my mouth from here on out, the end of the sentence gonna be buy this album.
Oh, that's the nickname for our crew for the next 5 months. Buy this album.
Absolutely. You heard them, people. Go buy the album. All right. If you don't take my word for it, listen to the stream. It's free on Bandcamp, and then just click buy the album. Support these fellas. They're working hard.
One real thing, like there's a lot of people who put out mixtapes for download, even though they're really albums. But then you have Nipsey Hussle on the other hand, who's selling album for $100 a pop. We're only 10. Buy the album.
There you go.
Yeah,
and if you want to find, there's no excuse to find it either, because you find it.
TomorrowKings.bandcamp.com. Yeah, Colossal Structure just got here.
Exactly.
UndergroundHipHop.com. FifthElementOnline.com. Witch Hunt Disco.
Maybe you can speak on the Witch Hunt Disco, man.
Yeah.
Hey, what up?
Witch Hunt Disco movement.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think people
That's
are
the
ready.
genre.
What's it?
Yeah, talk about that. I see you got up on your Bandcamp. You call it your Witch Hunt Disco. Tell me what that means. And welcome, by the way.
Yeah, that's Colossal Structure. That's 1/3 of Gyroscope.
Peace, God.
Well, not that guy.
Oh, we losing them.
Yeah.
I think they still.
They'll be back
just
in a
got
minute.
it. Yeah.
Probably got to readjust.
All right, so you guys talk.
Modern
I don't know if
technology.
you guys can add on to talk about the witch hunt disco a little bit.
Man. You know, like I wrote something this morning. I was like, yeah, basically the music sounds like being in a club at 3 a.m. chasing a necromancer harpy with music blasting in your ear while drunk. Witch hunt disco. That's what we do.
Yeah.
For real.
For some people, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Only some of us are still out here chasing harpies.
A lot of us ain't out in this world no more.
Necromancer harpy. Get it straight.
Yeah.
Metaphorically, it's a metaphor.
Metaphor. Club Rhino closed. We don't do that shit no more. Man.
Don't talk about 2009, man.
No, just a warning. If a club has open vodka, like all you can drink vodka for an hour.
It starts
at 12 midnight.
It starts at midnight. Don't do it. Don't do it. Reconsider. Yeah, but Witch Hunt Disco, on our mixtape, there's this track, What Matter of Man, in which Gilead 7 says, bitch, cunt, trick, hoe. We were about to do a show in front of kids. Not kids, but teenagers and parents, largely. So he couldn't get on and say, bitch, cunt, trick, hoe.
So Malak steps in and says, hey, man, why don't you just say Witch Hunt Disco? And we was like, that's it. Light bulb.
So Tomorrow Kings is Nigga Rig Time Machine is Witch Hunt Disco. Like
Right.
that's what it is. It's
Sounds really fucking
I like
strange.
it.
It's all
strange as all hell.
Yeah, you're gonna have to sit closer. Just
Yeah.
sit there.
I say use that cube right there. That one's about to break.
Oh, making it happen.
It's weird. We're low budget and high technology at the same time.
Right.
Low budget high technology. Exactly what it is.
And Nigga Rig
That's
Time
it. A little bit of everything.
Nigga
Low
Rig
budget,
Time
high
Machine.
technology, thug nerds.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Yo, reporting live from Logan Square, man.
Reporting
All right,
live
see
from
me
the
now?
Blizzard.
Hey, is my throat, is it good? Hold on.
We hear
Wait a
you.
minute. All right, there.
Okay, there we go. We're good.
Yeah.
We got you.
All right.
There we go.
You karate chop.
What's up? Yeah, it's fucking weird.
So, Klaus, you have anything to add?
What? No, the Witch Hunt Disco, it basically came out of nowhere. Earlier we were being interviewed via Google Docs, and the guy asked us yo, no, he just said let's talk art rap, and I'm like, the first thing I thought was Witch Hunt Disco.
Yeah, that's your answer.
Yeah.
That was
Witch
my
Hunt
answer.
Disco.
I'm like, everybody will be thrown under the label art rap. So I'm like, well, we're making Witch Hunt Disco. We're separated from that.
Yeah.
We're doing our own thing. It's a collage of things put into one.
But we do have a song on the record called "Art Rap Make Babies."
It's called
Yeah,
Art
we do
Rap
have-
So
That's a whole nother conversation, though.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Man,
But
I wish
you know,
John
it
was
just
here.
has
I'm kind of
sales
scared, though.
from the pack of
And
folks that say what?
what'd you say?
What's that? Sure.
No, I said wish John was able to speak on the art rap to make babies too, but I'd be kind of scared to let him talk on that one too.
No, we don't need
That's
we
That's
don't
probably
need
like the
that.
raunchiest verse on the album.
listening is birth, and don't be listening to them associate shit I ain't necessarily involved in.
Every time you hear the Brown Shark reference on the album, that's Lamont.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
He called himself the Brown Shark
Yeah.
on Hungover Driver on industrial music, which is for free.
Yeah.
We're looking on finding a brown shark suit for him to wear
Oh
for
yeah.
every show.
Oh yeah.
That'd be amazing.
A brown shark.
We're gonna find it at some point.
We could get him a
Yeah,
brown
we just-
shark skin suit.
Just
If we get on MTV,
crowdsource
we
it.
gonna find it.
Huh?
Just ain't got that money.
Right.
Just put it on your social media, crowdsource it. I'm sure you got some creative fans out there that can help put that together.
That's
Oh
true.
yeah, that'd be
Oh, yeah.
that'd be incredible, right there. Oh, we developed a dance for it too, called the Brown Shark. If you ever see us do Hungover Drive live, we do the Brown Shark dance.
Yep.
Oh, man.
I'll have to look for it now. I have to look for it.
It's real.
All right, fellas. Well, really appreciate you guys coming through. Again, if you haven't checked out the new album, please go listen to it, download it, buy it. All right, it's on Bandcamp. TomorrowKings.bandcamp.com. You can also check and feature it on AshyToJazzy.com. Fellas, again, thanks for coming through. You know, keep the music coming. We're happy to share it and get it out to the world for you. So,
Thanks for
any
having us.
final?
Yeah, thank you.
We appreciate it.
Shout out to Ashy to Jazzy.
Yeah.
Thank you for the love.
Yeah. Thank you for interviewing us. We really appreciate it. We're just glad people listening. You know, still buy the album. Listen to it, buy the album.
Yeah.
TomorrowKings.bandcamp. Exactly.
Yeah. Perfect time for that shit. Perfect time. Yes. You gotta tattoo that shit, man. Just gonna say
Yeah.
all that mom. Oh,
Top 5.
rap stuff. Right.
I'm about to tweet that we need a brown shark
Hey, that's how to
suit.
sit next to you.
Somebody can send it. In real.
I ain't
I'll tweet
retweeting that shit.
now.
I am, and I'm
We
at
are.
you, motherfucker.
For sure.
So you guys heard it. Buy the album. Help create a brown shark suit. Or call
Exactly.
your friend that is a tailor and get it made. All right,
Yeah,
fellas.
we know some.
You guys, you met Tomorrow Kings. Well,
All right.
part of the group, Tomorrow Kings. And be sure check for the album. Buy the album. Thanks again, guys. Peace.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Precious crosses and catechisms, battles for Christians, the broad swords and henchmen fighted the King James first to the pits immersion.
I be that axe of irregular law, attendance on Paramount, pendant with a crescent star with relics that still on Mars, lens of an avatar, 7 planet 36, cipher tent camouflage, focus antioxidants.
Mixed martial arts.